Thank you for having me here today. I respectfully thank His Holiness Mirza Masroor Ahmad. He courageously leads your community in fighting extremism and protecting religious freedom. I want to give special thanks to Mirza Masroor Ahmad, the National President of the Ahmadiyya community as well. I also thank the Ahmadiyya community for being a trusted source of information for the issues facing the Ahmadis worldwide. Your community's never-ending commitment and passion has resonated in Washington, D.C. and throughout the halls of the U.S. Capitol. I'm very happy to be here representing the U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom. Most of you know USCIRF, and we deeply cherish our relationship with you. But let me just say a few words about us. We are an independent, bipartisan commission established in 1998 by the International Religious Freedom Act. We review the facts and circumstances of violations of religious freedom or belief abroad and make policy recommendations to the President, the State Department, and Congress on ways that this vital right can be best protected and promoted through U.S. bilateral and multilateral relationships. As an independent commission, USCIRF has a lot of freedom when it comes to objectively looking at religious freedom violations abroad, as we are concerned only with advancing religious freedom. USCIRF is a focused voice in Washington to say freedom of religion and belief matters. Whether you like what the commission says or not, people listen. People debate what we say and how we say it. Our annual report, which among other things, recommends certain countries that should be designated as countries of particular concern, CPCs. Our former chair, Reverend Tom Reese, says these countries represent the worst of the worst. If USCIRF recommends that a country be designated a CPC, it is because we believe the government of that country engages in or tolerates systematic, ongoing, and egregious religious freedom violations. One such country is Pakistan. Since 2002, we have recommended to 3 different U.S. administrations that they designate Pakistan as a CPC, in part due to how Pakistan treats its Ahmadiyya community. In fact, Chairman Mark and our former chair, Father Tom Reese, both visited Pakistan in May. They met with government officials, NGOs, and representatives of religious minorities, including many from the Ahmadiyya community. I know you know this much better than I, but shockingly and sadly, Ahmadis are required to denounce their faith and declare themselves to be non-Muslims in order to avail themselves of important civil rights in Pakistan. Ahmadis continue to suffer discrimination and persecution, and even are being murdered in religiously motivated attacks that take place with impunity. And tragically, Ahmadis are not only persecuted in Pakistan, they face significant challenges in countries like Indonesia. These are all countries that we monitor very closely. As USCIRF, we also seek to try to make a positive difference. On April 6th, USCIRF formally launched its Religious Prisoners of Conscience project. The goal of the project is to highlight both the plight of individuals who have been imprisoned for their religious beliefs, practices, and identity, and the policies and laws of the country that has led to their imprisonment. Each USCIRF commissioner has chosen one or more such prisoners for whom they will publicly and privately advocate. The chairman of USCIRF, Daniel Mark, has selected Abdul Shakur. Chairman Mark sends his regards and hopes that you will go online to USCIRF's website to listen to his statement of advocacy of Mr. Shakur. I do not have to tell this audience who Mr. Shakur is. In fact, this is an elderly man in his 80s that has been sentenced to 8 years in prison under Pakistan's Anti-Terrorism Act and Provision 298C of the Pakistan's Penal Code, which is a travesty. Not only will Chairman Mark advocate for Mr. Shakur, but he will also advocate for all Ahmadis and their right to freedom of religion or belief. And might I add, the entire commission will join him in this endeavor. We also work in support of Idris Ahmad and Sabu Sabah ul-Safar, who were sentenced to 3 years imprisonment and a fine May 31st, 2017. As you know, these two men were arrested after your community's central offices were raided by the province's Counterterrorism Department on December 5th, 2016. I have another reason to be here today, which is I ask for your help. USCIRF commissioners and staff are dedicated, but we have a small number of people. Monitoring freedom of religious violations globally is a huge challenge. We cannot do it on our own, so I'm asking you to keep us informed. From important leadership in publicly denouncing extremism and terrorism to small gestures like your community's annual blood drive in honor of 9/11 victims, your community has shown the highest levels of humanity. What is truly remarkable is your community has actively advocated for religious freedom, not only for yourselves, but for other communities that face persecution. USCIRF has always found strength in numbers, and that when religious minorities work together, stand together, and speak out for each other, the possibility for change and improvements can become a reality. I deeply appreciate the opportunity you've given me today to address you and meet many of you individually. Your life stories and experiences deeply inspire me, the commissioners, and USCIRF staffs, and strengthens our commitment to religious freedom for all. Thank you so very much.